Okay, now, as I told you before, you don't have to use Visual Studio Code to run commands or for executing programs. And so now I'm gonna just open my files with the notepad. You don't have to do this, but I'm doing it for demonstration purposes. Okay, so I'm gonna open the notepad and then I'm gonna open the command prompt. I'm gonna place it over here, and now I have to move to the folder where I have my file. To do that, I'm gonna press CD, that stands for change directory, and then type documents / in my case it's learning Python. Yeah, and now I can execute the program, my program, that is Python dot / tf.py, and it does nothing for now. Yeah, it does nothing for now. So what I want to talk about now is about the types of the variables. Yeah, as you can see in Python, we don't have to declare what's the type of the variables, but it is right there. If we use a function called type and open parentheses and type something like first variable, save it, and then run the program again, it says it's an integer. And we can do this with second variable as well. Save it and see that it is a string. So what about my list and the fourth element? So it is the element with index 3. Save it. Run the code again. There's an error because it was capital L. Save it. Run the code again. It says it is a string. Yeah. Okay. So what are the types that we can work with in Python? To check this, we have to go to the main page, come here where it says library reference, and then down here also make sure to check the right version for this. And down here we can see the types, the built-in types. Yeah, we have booleans which are true, only true or false. Let's create a boolean type. For example, just call it, I don't know, maybe check bar equals true. Save it. I'm gonna use it right here. Check bar, save it. I'm actually gonna just print it. Check bar, save it, run the code again. Okay, minimize this, run the code again. It says it's true. Okay, true as expected. Okay, we can also declare it as false with the first character as capital. Okay, false. Save it, run the code again. It says it's false. Okay, so now we can come here and check the types, the numeric types. It says we have integers, floating, and complex. And of course we can perform the basic operations: multiplication, addition, subtraction, division. Yeah, I guess I already said division, sorry. And yeah, we can also come here where it says built-in function, and we can also check what are the types of the variables that we can work with. It says we have binary, boolean, float for floating point number, hexadecimal, integers, of course, strings, and that's it. Yeah, that's it when it comes to types. In other languages, for example, in processing, the processing language, and other languages like C++ or C, we have to declare what's the type of the variable that we are creating. For example, let's go here where it says hex. We have to specify what's the value. Okay, apparently we don't have to do that with this. Okay, let's go where it says float. Yeah, we have to declare either if it's an integer or a float. Okay, followed by the name of the variable and then the value. And yeah, what about characters? Yeah, okay, characters. Let's go to Boolean. Okay, I want to see some more examples. String. Oh yeah, here we have a string, a byte, a character, a float, or an integer. You have to declare every single type, but in Python we don't have to do that. Okay, we can even declare empty list, as you can see here. And yeah, I guess that's it for now. I don't want to make this video longer. Oh yeah, before we can also check what is the size of the variables by using a library called sys. To do that, we have to import sys. Whenever you want to use a library, you have to import it. For example, the Pygame library that we already installed. It's right here. Go to the documents. Yeah, it says we have to import Pygame and then start using its functions. Okay, yeah, but for now just import sys, and now we can use sys right here. Just type sys dot get size of, and then followed by parentheses where we can specify the argument for this function. Okay, for example, first, what's the size of first variable? Let's check this out. It says it's 28 bytes. Okay, what about check bar? I'm gonna save it and run the code again. It says 28 bytes as well, because booleans are part of the integer type in Python, so it makes sense to be the same size. Okay, now let's print the size of second, can't type, second variable. Just save it, run the code again. It says there's an error. Yeah, because it was not the right name of the variable. Second variable. Run the code again. It says it's 53 bytes. So do you think it makes sense that an integer weighs 28, or maybe more accurate would be saying that an integer occupies 28 bytes, and there's not much difference compared to a word that occupies 53 bytes. So for me at least it does not make sense, and for many other people, but we're going to talk about that later when we work with numbers. Okay, yeah, so for now that's it. You can check check the functionality of get the size of this library, get the size of anything, and yeah, just try this out, checking the size of some text, check the size of some vectors, and yeah, see it by yourself. Also, we can come here to the library and read some information about any other function like apps. I guess this is to get the absolute value of anything. Okay, let me see. Okay, binary. This one converts to binary. Okay, here's an example. It converts 3 into 1 and 1. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, well, where is apps? Apps. Apparently, there's not much information about it here. Yeah, but you can come here and read some of it, and we talk about that in the next videos. Okay, yeah.